Okay, what's going on? So I'm here. I'm gonna do a quick video on printing, the extra small socks. I call them tiny top socks, and a few masks. All right, so here we got, the extra small socks. We got the masks, adult and kids, and the inserts. And I'm just gonna show you some quick prints. So what we need is, for the socks, we're gonna need the socks itself, the inserts that come with them, and then, your transfers or whatever you're gonna print on the socks. And then for the mask, you got the mask, and then of course, your transfers already ready. Quick thing about the extra small socks, adjusted the size of the jigs. Normally with the regular size socks, we go with a 4-inch wide jig, but for the extra small, we go with a 3-inch wide jig because we don't want to stretch it too far, because this is for a child that's like 10C to like 2Y. So that's what we got. So to start out with the socks, I think we're gonna go ahead and do, we'll do the black socks. So they'll come with the inserts. I use 2 per. Every pair of socks comes with 4. I use 2 per to keep it nice and flat. And I'm gonna load the sock. Like that. Take the other one. And we'll load the other one. So for the sake of time, I'm getting a quick video in. I'm only gonna do 1 pair of socks. But when it comes to the mask itself, I'm going to actually do 4 masks. I'll probably do a black, do a red, and let's see, I'll do an orange one, and black, red, orange, and I'll probably do a light blue one. Gonna be using these transfers that I already got ready, and I'll move you on to, so with the mask, I'm gonna show you the difference of how it look between just taking the mask and pressing it, versus on the lighter colors when you have, some bleed over that may transfer to the edge, masking off the edge so you don't get any ink on the edge, but you still get the print in the middle. Okay, so I actually changed my mind. I'm actually gonna do 2 pair of socks instead of 1. Got, the one I call the Crayo Cam, and then the black ones. And then we'll get into the mask. So first, of course, you need your butcher paper to start to the bottom. Then you're gonna do the black ones first. Get your socks lined up. And as you know how I print my transfers, with the template, with a small gap in between. The print area is 3 inches, but I make the template 4 inches wide, so it has some bleed over, so it bleeds over into the side, so you won't have, a white line or an empty or a double line in the middle from, rolling the sock over or anything like that. So as you can see, just get it lined up how I want it. I can see through the paper a little bit, get in the position I want it for both of them, and good to go. Take my second piece of butcher paper, put it on top, and I actually think I shifted it a little bit by doing that. Okay, it's good to go. Put it down. Swing heat press around. I'm gonna let that cook for 50 seconds. So while that's cooking, I got my other socks ready, got the mask ready. Once this is done, just gonna flip it over on the other side, do the other thing. Done. Take the picture paper off, pop it off, and boom. Perfect print, edge to edge. You got to bleed over into the edge, so all we gotta do is just flip. No roll, no bend, no break. Take the same transfer on the other side. It's already set up, preloaded. Put your paper back on top. Let it rock and roll. Cut out 50 seconds on that side too. This is now trash. Pop the top off. Perfect print. Let it cool off just a little bit. Cool off just a little bit. And then go ahead. Throw another piece of picture paper down. Let me get the other ones printed. The Crayo cams. And so you can, just throw it off if you don't care about, the bleed over, to the bottom. Even though the bottom is cotton, it'll still take some of the ink. But if you don't want to get the bleed over, you can take a spare jig or a piece of paper, another piece of butcher paper, line it up at the bottom where the design will bleed over. Get as much as you can. Throw your other piece of butcher paper on top. Same deal, spin it around, and let it go. But as you can see, we took the jig out now. Sock is not stretched out. It's not deformed, because I know a lot of people like to press them like this, but then it, changes the form of the sock. And as you can see in the middle, no white line. They meet perfectly all the way across. And got a pair of kids socks utilizing Golden Girls. Thought it was funny. So we wait for this one a couple more seconds to flip over and do the other side. Got that. Take the top layer off, sit it to the side for a little bit. Pull this off, pop it off. And as you can see, most of that bleed over made it onto here. Just barely minimum on there, but it's not a lot at all. So I'm gonna take it, same deal, flip the sock over, utilizing the same groove it was in, so it's lined up. Get your transfer, pop it on there, line it up like you did with the other side. Put your barrier, or whatever you choose to use, if you even choose to use it. And put the top on it. And let it go. So after this, we're going to get into the mask, and I'm going to show you the difference between, of course, the black, you don't have to do it. Don't have to worry about putting a barrier on the side. But I'm going to print one. I'm going to print the red one. I'm going to print without, blocking off the edges. You'll see a little of the ink will transfer over. And then I'm going to print the orange and the blue one, where I'm going to cover the edges to give it, that fine print, and see how the difference is. Got that done deal. All this is trash now. Pop the socks off. Set them aside, let them cool. Trash it off. Now that we got that done, I'm gonna start on the mask. I'm gonna get the butcher paper down. And first I'm gonna do two. And of course, this side it come individually wrapped, and this is resealable, so you can just put it right back in there before you send it to the customer. You know what I mean? I like to run a lint roller across them a little bit because I don't like the lines on it. So we're gonna do the black one and the red one without masking the edges. Oh yeah, and these are, keep in mind of how I explained before, how these are stitched, double sewn stitch all the way across, double layer, solid layer on the back, of course with the filter pocket, but the way they're stitched, the way they're manufactured, as you can see, they lay flat with no issues, no tape, no pillow. I'm not using any of that. And we're just gonna go. So let's see. On the black one, I'm gonna go with, put Betty on the black one. I'm just gonna make sure she's lined up. Of course, it bleeds over around all the edges to get that finish. And then I'm going to go with Blanche on the red one. Same thing, I'm just going to put it on there with no masking for you to see how it bleeds over into the trim. Some people don't have an issue with that, and that's fine. And get those two going. Move this out the way some more. Get our butcher. Get that butcher paper on top. Bring the press back around. Let's cook that for 50 seconds. Need to get a couple more butcher papers for the next two. Get them set up. Got those ready. Got about 27 seconds left. Done. Pop the top. Pull the top cover off. So we got the black one. Perfect print. No tape, no extra stuff. Just done. We got the red one. Same deal. I mean, you would have to actually look close where you see where the print is actually on the trim, but you really can't tell too much. But now I'm going to show you, like with the lighter colors, sit those aside, of how you can mask them to where you won't see the bleed over. So put your paper down and pop this orange one out. Get that laid out. And we're gonna pop this baby blue one out. Once again, same deal. Color trim, double sewn portion, back, filter pocket, solid color on the back, lay flat. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you. So what I do is I'll take, cause I don't want the color to transfer on the trim, I'll take heat tape and I will actually trim the outline with the heat tape. Simple trim. I mean, a lot of people like, oh, I don't want to use all that heat tape, but I mean, if it means that much more to the customer, that, you know, if they don't want to see, or you don't like to see, like I don't like to see the bleed over on the trim, I just throw the tape on there. So I got the tape on both sides of that. And I'll do the top one. Same deal. Just get it on the outline. Come across the bottom. The heat tape. And notice again, I'm not using the tape to tape the mask down. There's really no need to tape the mask down if, you know, it's made correctly. You don't need to tape it down. And then I'm gonna come along the sides because the bleed over comes along the side too. So I'm gonna block that off. And take another piece and block off this side. And take another one and hit the blue one the same way. Block it off. Come towards the top, and of course this is a longer process, but this goes back to, you know, charging your worth for your product and not just, you know, trying to be the cheapest out there, but put out the quality. And you don't need to be the cheapest. So I'm gonna go with Granny on the blue one. And just gonna make sure, you know, I could get most of her on it. Move it up right there. Get it lined up where it's, you know, it's going over the edges. She's good to go. And gonna get a daughter right here. Get it lined up. Make sure it's covering the edges. Good to go. Move this out the way so we don't get it to shift. Put your paper on top. Bring the press around. Hit that for 50 seconds. I forgot to take the other socks out, but I took them out now. And as you can see, same deal with the other ones. Nice print, both sides. Open it up. Nice seam, no double line, no white line. Got a good pair of socks, you know. And also, another thing I wanted to speak on is, you know, oh, I hit the press. That, you know, the presentation is everything. So, you know, I see a lot of people just put it on the heat press, take a picture, just put it on the table, take a picture. But a small little investment of like $60 to get a light box, which I'm gonna show you next, make a big difference in your presentation to your customer. So give this a few more seconds and then we'll get it going. Alright, pop that off. Pop the top off. Take the bottom off. Perfect print on there. Pop the top one off, same thing, perfect print. And then we had that tape just covering the edge. So now when I rip them away, we got no ink on the edges, on the trim. So perfect print. To me, it's better, quicker for me, in my opinion, of taping it than it is trying to cut, you know, the template directly inside the mask and go through all that. I could just, you know, put a little tape and we got it together. So that's the end of the printing. We'll move along and I'll show you like the light box for a presentation.